Ooh, yes. It's another brisk morning. Wind is blowing. Ooh, but it's not as cold. It's not in the 30s today. At least it's only 44. I can't believe I'm saying it's only 44. Anyways, y'all, it's Rich the Recruiter, the most interesting recruiter here with Cold Plunge Talks. Today we're going to talk about times at work where you may feel overwhelmed and stressed because the workload is just a little bit too much sometimes. And, especially nowadays, there is so much. Give me a second. There is so much going on as far as layoffs, shortages, companies having big layoffs, and just people, certain departments just being shortage, certain organizations just having a shortage of employees. So sometimes the workflow can become overwhelming and stressful. And once again, I'm going to go back to communication. I think everything involves communication when it comes to any decisions. Like, obviously, we're not talking about a toxic environment. I'm talking about a good organization that, goes through changes. Maybe they laid off some people or some people left because there's some changes going on and they don't feel comfortable. So therefore, your workload has become larger and has caused you some stress. Going back to having that communication with your bosses is imperative. Get an idea of, like, okay, I get it, maybe for a little while, you guys are going to be hiring some people. Are you? Asking those questions to see if that is on the agenda to hire more people, or the people let go and they're like, I'm not going to hire anybody. So you're going to have to stay constantly overwhelmed and stressed and overworked. And that goes down to that relationship with your boss. You guys have that communication. You guys have that dialogue. And if you're not getting the answers you're looking for, maybe it's time to start looking for a new job. If you waited 6 months because they've told you, this is one scenario, maybe they've told you, yes, we're going to hire. Once we hire, yes, your workload is going to come down and it'll be back down to a normal workload. If that's the case, okay, I can bear with it for a few months, maybe even a year, because obviously there's some overtime, there's some opportunity to make some more money. I've got more workload, if there's that opportunity, for sure. But if it's been 6 months, after having that conversation, it's been a year, and it's still no changes, no one, your workload hasn't changed, then maybe it's time to find yourself a recruiter and put yourself out there. But like I said, it always boils down to the communication. What are you communicating? How you feel? What are the thoughts of the company? Doing your own due diligence, and then from that point, it may be that time, because you can't stay overwhelmed and stressed. But I also believe that, like, if you are overwhelmed and stressed, there's things outside of work that you can do to challenge yourself, ease that stress, meditation, all that good stuff, yoga, exercise, get that stress out at the gym. But this boils down to you communicating with your bosses to see what the plan is. And then once again, if there's not that communication, then yeah, it doesn't seem like it's a healthy environment where there's lacking of communication is definitely a sign of unhealthiness. So yeah, definitely put yourself out there and look for new opportunities. But like once again, I'm from the mindset of what can I do? to make my situation differently. And sometimes that situation might be finding a new job. So this has been Cold Plunge Talks with the most interesting recruiter. You guys have a great day. I'm gonna get out of here. This thing is cold.